Hello, everyone. It's not Sunday today. It's Tuesday, which is a bit strange for us because we normally have our show on a Sunday afternoon, but it's 4 o'clock in the UK, which is 11 in Manila. Hopefully, some of you, dear friends in Manila, are still up and watching us. If you haven't got work tomorrow or anything, but anyways, yeah, welcome to another episode of Ask the Drummer. Uh, Today's guest, I mean, she's absolutely amazing. I've seen her live a few months ago, and I really, when I saw her, I just thought I've got to get her on Ask the Drummer. And fortunately for us, she said yes. So I'm really, really pleased with that. So I'm going to bring her on the show now. My dear friends, please welcome Paige Cook.
Hi, you alright?
Hello. How are you, Paige?
Yeah, brilliant. Except for the weather, it's absolutely pouring down.
It is, yeah, same here in Stockport. So you're in Cumbria at the moment.
Yeah, we're here at the minute. So
Okay.
we have like two places like where we could live. So we have a base in Cumbria, which is like really helpful for like gigging up north and stuff like
Yeah.
that. And then we've also got um a base in London as well.
All
So we're
right.
lucky, like if we get a gig in Brighton or London, like we could stay in that house there. So
Yeah. Yeah.
worked out quite
Well,
well.
yeah. Well, like I said, in the beginning, that when I saw you in March in Glasgow, I just thought, wow, that's amazing. You're absolutely incredible. But you reminded me actually of a drummer singer in the 80s called Sheila E.
Oh
You're
yeah, yeah,
probably
I know what you
you're
mean.
probably do you know
Yeah,
Sheila E? Or maybe you
yeah, yeah. No, I know what
yeah.
you mean.
Yeah, she's amazing. When I saw you, she was the first person that that immediately came to my head. It was all like,
Yeah,
oh my god, this is like Sheila E. So,
yeah. A lot of
well,
people say that Karen Carpenter as well. She used to do a bit of drumming at the same time. So I didn't know that until like my dad told me about it. So yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah. That's right. I mean, Karen Carpenter. She's got a voice of an angel. I think not many people realize that she's actually one. You know, her drumming was absolutely amazing. I mean, I've
yeah,
seen a clip on Facebook before where she's just so like not singing but just drumming, and
yeah,
absolutely amazing. But anyways, I'm glad that you know Sheila E.
yeah, yeah. I know what you're on
I'm
about.
really pleased with that. So, yeah. So it's so like gonna start now. So welcome to Ask the Drummer. Episode 87 is all about you, Paige Cook. No relation to Paul Cook, is that? You
No,
know, the
no,
famous
no.
drummer of Sex Pistols.
And I'm not named after Jimmy Page either.
Oh, yeah. No, that's right. Can I just ask, where were you born?
So I was born in Cumbria, which is where I'm at today. So that's like it's like the northwest. Like everyone thinks it's near Manchester, but it's still 2 hours away from Manchester. It's like an hour to the motorway. I mean,
Yeah.
it's really beautiful here, but there's not much going on. Like there's no like
Oh, really?
nightlife. Put it that way.
Oh, is it closer to Scotland? I think
Yeah,
it's
it's like
closer. To,
it's about it's about 3 hours
isn't
still
it?
to Scotland.
Oh, another three. Yeah, yeah. Because I remember
So
whenever I go to Glasgow, and then I'll get the megabus to Glasgow. It always goes sort of like via Cumbria
yeah, so
before it
it goes
actually.
past
So,
me, but it's still like if you were going to go past me on the motorway, like the M6, I think it is, then it's still like an hour off that way. Like it's so far away from everywhere.
yeah, yeah. So you mentioned that there's not much happening there. So what was Cumbria like when you were growing up? You know, like what did you
um,
do? I mean,
well, to
music.
be honest, like because there's not like I say there's nothing to do. Like don't get me wrong, it's a beautiful place. It's just not a city life at all. Like so, if you I don't know, it's just so different to living in a city because I moved to London when I was 16. So
Oh,
but growing up, I think there's actually a lot of talent like around this area, especially because there wasn't much to do growing up. Everybody like went to like amateur dramatic clubs or did a bit of singing in bands or um, like made music. Like so there's actually a lot of talent in this area because there wasn't much else to do. So
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, it's
Sure,
really,
but did you have like clubs or do
yeah,
you like
oh
in
loads,
Manchester? Yeah, in
yeah.
Manchester we had like in the past they had like Hacienda, or maybe in Liverpool they had Ericsson. What was like the most
Oh right, no,
famous?
there's nothing. There's no like clubs like to go out to. Like there's no gig venues. Like the nearest ones are like Lancaster, Preston. So that there's the odd like theatre. Like there is a good theatre here, and they
Yeah.
put the odd gig on, but it's more like theatrical stuff rather than bands. And but we got lucky this year because Big Country came to our local town, and what it was, we played like a little tiny festival in Barrow, and the lady from that, she got asked to recommend a band from the theatre that she thought would be suitable to support Big Country. And then she just messaged me and said, "Oh, do you want to support Big Country?" And I was like,
Wow.
"Yeah, like,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah." So this is so when you saw me playing, the reason
Yeah.
that we got on with the Skids is
Yeah.
because three of the members out of Big Country are actually in the Skids.
And kids,
So
yeah.
they recommended us. Well, it was the tour manager, Gordon. Give a big shout out to Gordon.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Because
yeah.
he recommended us to the promoter, and that's how we got on with the Skids. Because we're a duo, like we fit in amongst the gear. We don't touch any microphone stands or move anything or get on their drum kit because mine's back to front anyway. So
Yeah,
I
yeah.
can't play on theirs, but that's why they like us to support because we don't interfere in any of their setup at all. So it works really well.
Yeah, yeah, that's brilliant. Well, obviously you're from a musical family because your dad,
Yeah.
uh, he he's
Is that all?
yeah, he plays with you. Any other member of your family that's also into music?
Yeah, so we're quite like a performer family. Like me and my brother's a dancer, so he dances in like shows like Cats and stuff like that. He can also sing. My mum was a dance teacher, so we were always going to be some like heading for the stage or like working in that aspect like somehow, because what else were we going to be?
Well, so have they joined you on stage, the other members, or just it's always been
Eh,
you
not
and your
really,
dad?
like just me and my dad really, but my brother, like we've like I've sang before and then he's like danced behind me and stuff like that, like when we were younger, but not these days. Like just me and my dad do it together really, which we never thought in a million years we would end up in a band together. Like it's so weird.
It's it's actually funny. Like when you came on stage, I think I remember the first thing you said that just to let you all know, he's my dad. He's not my boyfriend. And I thought,
Well, I have to say that because some people think that he's literally my boyfriend, and I'm like, are you joking? He's my dad. Like, we look exactly the same, except for I've got blonde hair and he's got the dark hair. Like, and like I think people. We were laughing the other day because I think when we get up on the stage, like people look at me as if to say, "What are you doing here?" Like, I don't look like a punk rocker, I guess, like a typical punk, if you know what I mean. And my dad's like a bit older, obviously, and
yeah,
together we look like we're not a band. But then once we start playing, people are so
yeah,
shocked, like, "Oh my goodness, what is
yeah,
this?" We've like done everything that you shouldn't do, if you know what I mean, like to be in a band. But it's kind of by doing that, we've come up with something that's really different and it's something to watch as well. And by accident, it's worked really well. Like it's one of them things. Like we got to a gig a few months ago, and I had like a massive. It was pouring down, so I had a massive like big puffer coat on, it looked like a duvet. And this guy said, "I watched you and you came in earlier, and I thought, oh, what's this blondie doing in here? Like, why is she here?" And he said, "And then you got on the stage, and then you did that." Like, he was so shocked. Like, he said, I did not expect you to be like that at all. Like, he said, "Well done." He shook my hand.
Oh, well, that's really good because yeah, when I saw it, it's like that's full of energy on stage. I mean, the minute you saw like start your first song,
Yeah,
I
and like
could tell.
sometimes, like when we're supporting like bigger bands and stuff, like we expect to be playing to like nobody, but honestly, like the shock we get sometimes, like I remember at Glasgow, it was our
Yeah,
I'd say that was our first, because there's about 750 I think it holds in there, or maybe a bit more. But so when we were waiting to go on, there must have only been about 20 people in that room before we went on, like 5 minutes before.
Yeah.
And we must have just opened the doors. So we were thinking, because we have a song called Ice Cream Man, and it's like a sing-along song. So we didn't think, we thought, oh, we'll have to take this out of the set because I don't think anyone's gonna like join in
Yeah,
or whatever.
yeah.
Anyway, we played like one number, and then it was like rammed. Everybody came in, and we were like, keep it in, we can do it. So
Yeah, no, I you know, because I was there at the front, and it was so like I can tell it's all like people just really wanted to hear more of this, and because I think everybody was just surprised.
Yeah,
You know,
that's the thing. Like, it was just shocking. Like,
yeah, but what got you into drumming?
and it was like purely by accident. So I was like always like sang in front of bands and stuff like that. And then my dad saw Slaves on, I think it was on Jules Holland. Do you know the band Slaves? So
Yeah,
they have a similar setup to us.
yeah, the duos.
He stands up. Yeah, they're a duo as well. So Dad literally rang me at work and was like, I forgot to tell you yesterday, I saw this band on Jules Holland. See if you can drum and sing at the same time. And I was like, what? I won't be able to do that. Because I'm a singer, like that drums. Do you know what I mean? I'm not a drummer first.
Yeah.
So I literally got like a couple of like shoe boxes and then like wooden spoons out of the kitchen drawer. And just he said to me, try and like do a rhythm that completely goes against like you're singing. So I chose a Guns N' Roses song, Paradise City, for the verses. So I knew the verses were like completely different rhythm, like singing wise, to what you would actually play.
Yeah.
Anyway, I could do it. So I was like, oh, this, I'd actually found it quite easy. And I think it's because my mum was a dance teacher. We used to do tap. And I think rhythms, like I'm just naturally really good at rhythms because of all the tap dancing I used to do when I was a kid. But you know, like when you're at school and like when you're like tiny and they have like people come in, don't they, and like show you like instruments that you've never like seen before or whatever. And I always remember one of them grabbing hold of my dad after like school, like, and saying, that kid's got a good ear. Like, she can hear things that other kids can't, like, don't listen to. And
oh wow,
I don't know why. Like, I just think I've just got really good like timing, like natural timing.
Yeah, you're a natural things. But did you go for some drum lessons? Or?
Yeah, so I went like, so at first I drummed for about a year, like doing it my way, because the reason I drum like I do is because I want to be able to sing as well as I can. So I have my chest like really open, so I don't cross my arms over.
Yeah.
I do sometimes, but not very often. And I don't have a hi-hat, so I don't have to like keep it going all the time. So I actually play backwards, which I didn't know that I actually play backwards, because my kick drum is actually in my hand rather than on my foot. So when I went for drumming lessons, and I had to play with my feet as well, which I could do it luckily, but he was like to me, oh, I don't want to teach you, like, I don't want to ruin what you're doing because I like what you're doing. Like, he was like, could you teach me how to do that? Like, I was like, no.
Oh wow. Well, Aiden wrote said that sound and picture quality are excellent. Aiden is my tech support, so when he says that it's excellent, then that's good. That's really good. So I've read because you know I have to sort of like Google you before this show, and I've read that you've actually sort of like supported status quo when you're 14.
Yeah, well, when I was this is the thing, like when my dad was when I was younger, my dad, like, because he had like long hair, nobody else's dad had long hair. My dad dressed like a rocker, like he always dressed like himself, whereas everybody else's dad wore like a check shirt and like looked like, I don't know, like Superman, like vibes, you know, like that sort of thing. Like my dad always looked the opposite, like, and me and my brother used to be like, why have you picked us up from school? Like, it's embarrassing, like, but then when I got to like 15, I sort of realised, actually, my dad's the cool one. Like, everyone else's dad's quite boring and like, you know, like, my dad's just being himself. Do you know what I mean? Just because he's a
Yeah.
dad doesn't mean he can't wear what he always wore or whatever. Like, so I actually realised he's quite cool, and it was quite funny because he was in a band, and a lot of my age group is like when people were getting like remarried and stuff. So a lot of my friends, like parents, were like having their second wedding, and my dad was like the band at their wedding, and they used to be like, "Oh my god, your dad was at my mum and dad's wedding playing on Saturday," and I'd be like, "Oh no, that's so embarrassing!" Like, and they were like, "Oh no, he was brilliant." So it actually became like I was like, "Yeah, my dad's in a band," you know. And then he said to me and my friend at the time, do you want to come and do like backing vocals, because we got a gig with Status Quo?" So I was like, "Yeah." So that was like the first time we like played together, I think. And then over the years, my dad writes a lot, has always written songs, and because I could sing, he used to say like because we have like a home studio where, well, he had like a little thing on his laptop at first that he used to mess around with, and then as the years went on, we used to record in Brixton, and the guy who has Wolf Studios, Dominic, he's become a friend over the years, and he sold us his old Mac with all the software on for Pro Tools. So that's how we record at home now. So we're still using that computer. So over the years, he used to write songs and program them in and stuff, and then he would message me. He would say to me, "Come in here and just come and sing this line or whatever. I've written the song, like, come and sing a verse and stuff." And that's how we started to like songwrite together, if you will. But it's just developed over the years. Like, we never thought in a million years we'd be in a band together, like, ever. But it's cool now, isn't it? Like, I think because of COVID, like, everybody realizes now that your family's so important. Whereas I think about 5 or 6 years ago, people used to look at us as if to say, "You'll never do that. Like, that'll never work." And then we tried it, and we realized people don't care. As long as it's good, it doesn't matter. Like, how old you are or young you are. So it's.
But so when you supported Status Quo, I'm sorry, but I do like Status Quo as well.
Yeah.
So when you did you already know about Status Quo at the time?
Yeah, so because of my dad, like, I knew all the songs, and like I think it was like a DFS advert at the time. Like, they had that "whatever you want, whatever you like." That's how I knew their songs, like adverts. Like, they were massive, weren't they?
Yeah. So were you so like starstruck, or did you actually get to meet them after?
Yeah, it was not for long. Like, we literally said hello, I think, and that was about it. But they were really nice. Like, it was cool. Like, and I think it was probably my first like big gig that I ever went to.
Yeah.
Like, ever. Yeah. And it was like, we were just on that stage. Like, that was mental.
So before we continue, just wanted to say hello to Boying Reyes. He's in Manila, and he's a famous drummer in Manila as well.
Oh,
so
hi.
So that was your first ever gig, and that was your first sort of like band with your dad, or you were just sort of like a backing vocal?
I was just a backing vocalist that day. It was like my dad was like the front man and the guitarist. So like now it's like switched the other way around.
Yeah. Did you have any other sort of like band before Voodoo Radio?
So
without sort of like not having with dads or not having with
I was
dads,
working with I had like a manager at the time who was a really great guy, actually, and he's the reason that we've got a lot of the songs that we have now, because I think he was the PR guy for Kim Wilde, and he thought that I was like the new Kim Wilde. This was like I'd say about 7 or 8 years ago, and so my last name's Cook. So we called me Cook, if you will, like as a nickname. And we went out as Cook for quite a while, and I had like a young band behind me. It was just my brother and a few of his mates. So we did that for a little bit, but it wasn't different. Like, it was, I mean, it was fine, it was cool, but like, there's so many bands that are just good. Do you know what I mean? I think that's what we've realised, is it's about being different. and
Yeah, yeah,
and
that's
by
yeah,
by
yeah,
accident we've come up with something that is actually really different and like unique. So
yeah.
yeah, it's good.
But how true, how true is it that you were actually discovered while you were busking in London?
Yeah, no, that's
Is that
actually true. Yeah, so we used to. It's actually really hard to become a London busker. You have to audition.
oh
Um,
really?
yeah, so my mum actually saw it on. We were living in London at the time, and my mum saw it
Yeah,
on the news, and it was like 4 days to go for your application. And my mum was like, "Hey, you should do this," because it was when I just started drumming.
yeah,
So we said it would not only be like good exposure and like it would make us tight because I needed to get like used to playing like the
practice.
drums
Yeah,
and stuff,
yeah, yeah.
and we didn't realize you could actually make money at it. Like sometimes we used to go down there in like 2 hours and come back with like 100 quid and be like, great, like, and it was just like a practice, you know, like we used
Yeah,
to play like the odd cover here and there, and like we realized as well, like, because people just like go past you like so fast, like the 10 seconds and they've gone. We could play like the longest cover of Ramones you've ever seen in your life. Like we were literally playing the Blitzkrieg bop for 30 minutes.
oh,
No, we weren't really, but like, you know, like you could have done like if you wanted
yeah,
to, like because everyone just goes.
yeah, yeah. And
Yeah, but
different audience all the time. So
yeah, it was really good. So the audition does like an X Factor panel. It was hilarious. And there was like a couple of people before us like doing their audition. They auditioned, I think they auditioned like, I think 5,000 applied. They auditioned 1,000 and they give out 50 licenses. That was it. So we did really well to get one. And
yeah,
there was like a couple of singers like before us, like a guy like Ed Sheeran, he sort of vibes. He was great. Alas singing, and everybody was like just going past, if you will. It was at Westminster Station, and it was right by the barriers. So there's loads of people like going past. Anyway, we got up and like I took my drums down there, and my drums are electric, so it was good because you can control the sound, like how loud they are, so they don't have to
yeah,
be too
yeah, yeah.
in your face. And then we had like one big amp with like 5 outputs. It was like really good, and so we could play electric down there. And we started playing. Literally by the end of the song, it was quite embarrassing. I mean, it was brilliant for us because like it was like we knew we were going to get a license because we had a crowd like around us, and they had to get like moved on because it was actually quite dangerous, like this big crowd. It was like rush hour. So that's how we started doing that. And then just from that, we met our manager at our label. They'd just gone for breakfast or something like that, and then seen us at lunchtime, and we're like, oi, like,
Yeah,
hello, keep in
yeah.
touch. And we just kept in touch with him. And then throughout COVID, he said, do you want to do a record, like, do you want a record deal? And we were like, yeah. So that's how that came around.
No, I didn't know that. Is it just in London that they need a license to
Yeah,
be?
it's just for the TFL bit, yeah, like the Transport for London. So
Oh, I
to
see.
play on the underground. So the ones that are on the underground, like they be like most of them have been doing it for years and years and years, and like
Yeah.
sometimes like the people that play down there, some of them play for like concert orchestras like in the West End and stuff. And then while they're not doing anything in the daytime, they'll just go and bus for an hour. And a lot of them earn more money busking than they do in a show. Like it's crazy.
Yeah, because you think that like if you go to
Yeah, you feel sorry for it.
Manchester,
I'm like,
also like
never
yeah.
feel sorry for a London busker. They are loaded. No, I'm
Because
joking. I'm
when you go,
joking.
yeah, when you go to Liverpool, you go to Manchester, you see all these buskers, and you
Yeah.
sort of like, you know, I mean, surely they didn't apply for anything; they just sort of like
Well,
stand there.
so yeah, like I think like street busking is different, but this one
Yeah,
was crazy. Like every Tuesday morning at 9 o'clock, you used to have to press go on the laptop, and you know, like when you try to get a ticket for a gig, and
yeah,
like
yeah.
everyone's waiting, aren't they? Like to try and see what number they are in the queue. It's
Oh
exactly
my
like
god!
that, and because everybody wants the best pitches, like there's only
Yeah,
one way. It's the easiest way, I guess, for them to not
yeah.
have us all argue over what. But
Oh
I
wow!
thought it was gonna be just like, right, you've had your 2 hours, get off,
And
like
it was like,
you
yeah,
know, which I
yeah,
think some pitches are like that, definitely. But for Transport for London, because of security and everything, they just can't do it like that. but it makes it good for me. Like, so you feel quite safe down there as well. Like, you never really get into trouble or out. So no, it's
wow.
good.
That's brilliant. I didn't know that. But you don't do it anymore. You don't sort of like
Well,
go busking in London anymore, do you?
it's a bit of a weird one at the moment because nobody's got any cash anymore, have they?
Oh, oh yeah, of course.
So
Yeah, yeah. It's like
and
this cashless society now.
yeah, and like you know, like your card reader, like I think it's quite cheeky, like to have like £3 on, you know, like I wouldn't want to be the judge of. I think it's a bit much. Like, I don't want, you know what I mean? Like, people might think it's dodgy or something, right? And they are. You could put £300 on there if you wanted to, couldn't you? Like you just don't know, and I don't think people trust it. So I don't think it'd be worth like for money. But like, I'd definitely say to somebody who's like new, and like for us, it was brilliant. Like, we really got us tight, like busking, like
yeah,
really got us like to learn the drums, especially. Like, it was so worth it.
yeah.
It was good fun. Although I tell you what wasn't. We had to carry them. I had to have like a trolley with all my drums on. Oh my god, they were so heavy because some of the places don't have a lift. Oh,
oh my god!
I used to be like boiling. It's already hot down there, isn't it? I'd be like, oh.
So, where does the Voodoo Radio name come from?
So our manager, he was like, oh, I really like the name with radio in it, and we were like, radio, and he was like, yeah. He said like, I think it'll start like interest, like, because people do get us confused now because there is a radio show called Voodoo Radio, but like,
oh yeah,
it is a conversation, like it is a conversation starter, and like the voodoo bit, like we just wanted something that looked like good written down, and like I don't know, it was a cool word. Do you know what I mean? It wasn't. It's not because we're in a voodoo or anything like that. Like, not at all. Like, it was nothing to do with that. But yeah, and like on our t-shirts and stuff, like it really just stand out sometimes. Like, we're like, oh, it does look good. Like, written down.
What did the artwork, the lettering of the Voodoo Radio thing?
So it's basically like one of my dad's really good friends, John. He's so clever. He's done most of our artwork for everything. He did. So this is our first album that came out. Yeah. So like that picture on the front of there, my mum took that picture, like just on her phone, and we wanted a picture that showed like the attitude of us, you know, like rather than us just stood there like, you know, they're so awkward, aren't they? And so we really liked that picture because we just thought it captured quite a lot of like what we are. And then we give it to John and we just said, can you do something with this? Like, let's see if we can like make something out of this. And then he came up with that, like the colours and stuff, and we were like, that is perfect. And then because it was quite pop arty, and we wanted all the songs on the back of it. I mean, that's the inner sleeve, but on the back of this, it's got all the all the names of the songs, but they're all different pills. Like, so if you took like a Space Girl pill, you become a Space Girl, you know.
Yeah.
That was the idea anyway. So, but he did that, and then you know, there's a guy called Paul Gallagher. He took our pictures for like just did a photo shoot with us, and he's great, Paul. He's such a good laugh. You'll know his brothers. They're out of Oasis, so you can imagine what Paul's like. He's so funny. Oh. And yeah, so he's mates with my manager, and he took some pictures of us, and it was like one of our first like photo shoots, really, like with a photographer. And we were like, oh no, what's this going to be like? Because it's hard to get a picture of me and Dad, like, because we're not your typical band, you know what I mean? Like, it's quite hard to make us look like we're together, like, not together, you know. So anyway, Paul took some great shots of us, really captured like the colours and stuff. We went to Tottenham, it was like really cool around there, and did loads of shots there. And then that's the new EP. I think you saw that one, did you? Was it?
Yeah, well, I got the single.
Did you get the Stupid Humans EP? I don't think we had them. Right, no, so we've got new ones now.
the one that's only available at the time was the 7-inch
Yeah,
single.
so that's really old, that 7-inch. That's got like a one-off recording of Pretty Boy, Basic
Yeah,
Bitch on
Pretty
there.
Boy. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so Basic Bitch on that recording is different to the one. I think it's
That's on the
different.
album.
Yeah, to the one that's on the album. So
Oh.
next time I see you, I'll give you one of them.
Well, is that sleeve, the artwork for the sleeve, is that the tunnel where you used to sort of like do
Yeah,
the busking?
that's
Because
it's a tunnel in London. That it's like West London
yeah.
underpass. Yeah, it was just in there. It's just literally took on a camera phone, but they came out quite good. Them pictures. Who would have thought?
Yeah, because I know when I found out they were actually discovered sort of like busking in a tunnel in London, I thought this must be one of those
Yeah, well,
like
that's why we
pranks.
did it down there.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
So so you've actually got like good names to sort of like help you out with your sort of like career, because Paul Gallagher, like you said, it's not like, and the manager, your manager,
yeah,
um
lovely.
yeah, yeah. But is it hard for you as a female drummer? Um,
Yeah, to be
because, like,
taken seriously. Like,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Oh yeah. Like, how can I explain? Like, people, the amount of women that come up to me after a gig and say thank you, like as if to say yes, girl. Like,
yeah,
and they say things like, oh, like I never realised like how until even at gigs there's like the ratio of men that go to gigs compared to women is like massive. There's quite a
yeah,
big gap,
yeah,
and
yeah,
then um and I think as well, like the way I play it, like I don't get intimidated, which I think comes across like I come across like I don't care, like and like and I am like, oh, like before I go on, I'm like, because I'm quite, I think people think I'm nuts and like I'm quite crazy as a person, but then when they meet me, I think they can't believe how normal I am, if you know what I mean. Like I think my accent just makes me sound funny, so like people think, oh my god, you're nothing like what I thought you were going to be like. Like I'll talk to anyone, don't get me wrong, but I'm not like a like I don't think I like love myself and that, do you know what I mean? Like, which is I think how I come across on stage sometimes. Like people can't believe that somebody like me is doing that, if you know what I mean. I think that's what it is.
yeah, yeah. No,
So it's
it's.
like,
I think I love female drummers. I mean, every time I sort of like see a female drummer on stage,
yeah,
it's always. I mean, I know when I started as the drummer, and the first female drummer that I had on the show, I sort of like I was conscious not to mention female drummer, because it's
yeah.
like a drummer is a drummer, isn't there? There shouldn't really be a difference or sort of like, between a
Yeah,
male
and
and a
I
female.
think as well, like it's hard for girls to get gigs. Like you wouldn't believe, like if I said to you, like this time last year we couldn't get a gig. Like it was so hard for us to get a gig.
Oh,
Like
really?
yeah, because as well, like on paper we sound like ridiculous. So it's like dad and daughter 1-0 down, female singer 1-0 down. Well, female drummer, see you later. Like like it sounds so like lame. I think people think, oh, this is going to be rubbish, and then I think people even think that till we sound check. Even like some like sound engineers, like they look at me as if to say, or some of them tend to say things like, oh, you a screamer, like a screecher, and I'm like oh, so we played with the Meteors. This is my little T-shirt that I got
Yeah.
on last Wednesday in Bristol. What an amazing gig that was, right? So before we played with them, people were like writing to us that come to our gigs like, oh, be careful, Meteor's gigs are known for like fighting and like being really aggressive and that. And I was like, you what? Like, surely not. Like, maybe like back in like the 80s or whatever, and like
Yeah.
90s or whatever. I said, but I don't think so. And they were like, no, it is. Like, they're quite like scary, their fans. And then
Yeah.
I was still outside, like just chilling, like before we went on. And there was a group of men, and they were like, oh, what are you doing here? And I was like, oh, I'm in the band. Are you going to come and watch us? And he was like, nah, I don't like girl singers. like that.
Oh, you
And he went,
Oh,
and I was like, oh my God, that's awful. And he was like, and his friends were laughing because I like outed him and was like, you can't say that. And he was like, yeah, he said, they're all the same, they're screechy, aren't they? I said, well, I tell you what, you come in, and if you don't like it, you can leave. Like, I'll give you 5 minutes, and then if you don't fancy it, like, I won't be offended if you go.
yeah.
And then afterwards he was like, I just want to say, please can I have a t-shirt, and you're not a screecher. I was laughing my head off. I was just like, I said, I told you, I said, you need to go and see more girls more often. I said, there's loads of good girl singers. Like, I said, you're missing out. Like, you're joking.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
So it went on really well then for the meteor.
Bristol.
Yeah,
Have you ever been to Bristol?
I have. Went to Tekla. There's
Right. So it's
there's
like
a venue there called Tekla.
Apparently there's a venue called the Fleece. We've not done that one.
Oh yeah.
We played at the Exchange. It was so cool in there. It was like a Wednesday night, so we thought, it'd be quite quiet. It was absolutely heaving. There was like, I think it was like 250 or 300 like in there.
Wow.
And genuinely, like, it was one of our favourite ever gigs that we've ever done. Like the vibe in Bristol, it's like, it's a bit Brighton, like a bit like Brighton, that sort of vibe, like quite hipstery, like cool place.
Yeah. I like it there in Bristol, but I've only been there once anyway. But hopefully I will go there again. You're still touring with Skids, right?
No, so I think they finished yesterday or the day after. So we ended up we were only meant to do like one gig with them, and then we did the 100 Club with them first, and then after that the booker said, do you want to do Glasgow? So we did that.
Yeah.
And then after that he gave us like, I think we did 5 in total with them. But so when they played the last one on the weekend, and Richard said to me, like, when we finished with him about a week ago, and Richard said, I'll see you next week. And I said, we're not on it. And he was like, oh, you're joking. And I was like, no. But no, it's funny. Like,
so what's he like? Because he seems like a really nice person.
Oh, he's so nice. Like, he's got a proper sense of humor as well. Like, it's really funny for me, like, because I'm like younger, I don't really know who all these punks are. Like they're not. Like, I don't know him as like famous, if you know what I mean. Like, so my uncle, who is like, he was a punk like back in the day, like that was his like genre. He is like mad on. Well, he loves. Is it the Armory Show that Richard?
Yeah, the Armory Show. Yeah.
Well, they were like his band, so he roadies for us, my uncle. And when we turned up to gigs, like, he went really quiet, and I was like, what's the matter with you? And he was like, bloody hell, that's Richard Jobson over there. And I was like, Swags, do you want a picture with him? And he was like, yeah, will you get me a picture with him? I was like, yeah. So it's really funny. And like, my best friend, like, she's not a punk at all. Like, she's not even into music remotely. She's like the opposite to me. And her dad is a massive Skids fan, like huge, and she didn't know who the Skids were, so she didn't tell him that I was supporting the Skids. And then I literally seen him on the weekend, and he was like, what, you played with the Skids? And I didn't know. And I was like, no, I didn't know. Charlotte was like, you're joking, like, do you like them, Dad? And he was like, yeah, they were my favourite band growing up. So I said to him, right, I said, if we do any more, I said, like, you can come with us and roadie. And then I mentioned to him, we're doing a festival with UK Subs and Cockney Rejects, and he's a massive Cockney Rejects fan as well. So I was like, right, if you're free, come with us to that one. It's so funny.
Well, do you ever get starstruck? I mean, maybe you said, because they're probably too young to like the Skids. So,
like, where I went to school, like, a lot of my friends at school were like on the telly and stuff. Like, a lot of them were in EastEnders, and do you know Pixie Lot? Yeah. So Pixie was like, when she first came out, she was still at school. So she became like massive overnight and like just left school, and it was like, oh, Pixie's massive, like, you know, like,
her.
Yeah. So I went to a school in London, so they have they they have like a kids part and then a college on the side. So I went to the college straight after school. I didn't do like A levels or anything. I just went straight to like theatre school, if you will. So it's called Italia Conti, and loads of like famous people have been there. But I've got quite a few friends that are like really famous and are on the telly quite a lot. So it doesn't really, but like they're just people. Do you know what I mean? Like they're all most of them in that business are lovely anyway. Like you get the odd person, but they just won't last very long or whatever. But it's funny. Like we've been playing a lot with. Well, we've played twice with Sham 69, and they are the most funny guys. Like especially like the touring lot that go with them, like to Roddy. They are so funny. We played a festival, Stone Valley Festival last month, and we were meant to. So there was like a marquee outside with like tents like in a row, but the Skids had like a massive tent. Then it was there was all sorts of bands on it, like massive famous bands. Sham 69 had a massive tent as well. And then we were like in the middle of it, and we had like a tiny one, like because we're only a duo, so we don't need one anyway. And we were just like like shocked we even had one. And then we went in it, and we had like a full rider and everything. We had like beers and like cider. I was like, oh my god, Dad, we could have a party. So we were like just laughing. Anyway, because we know the guys, like Secret Affair were next door as well, so you could sort of hear each other. By the end of the day, I'm not joking yet, in our little tent we had the whole of Sham 69 with all the roadies and everything in our little tent. The Skids were bopping in and out, like you come in for drinks and stuff, and then Secret Affair were like bobbing over the top of the marquee, like, oh, what's going on in here? It was so funny, and I wish I took a video of it because it was just hilarious. Like they had all this room and everyone just wanted to be in our tent. It was so funny.
God, that's just incredible. I mean, that's really respect to you and your dad. So like Voodoo Radio. It's
just so funny. Like who would have thought? Like, and I tell you what was funny. You know Charlie Harper at the UK Subs.
Yeah.
So I knew who he was, but I didn't. Well, he came to our gig in Brighton, right? So he goes to quite a lot of gigs, Charlie. He's quite well known for like supporting like new artists and stuff.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think people were hearing about us. So he came along to watch us in Brighton at this little venue. This really small room. The merch was at the back, right near the bar. So I'm stood on the merch, like, wait, like as people come in. And he went, oh, yeah, you're right. Are you out of Voodoo Radio? And I was like, yeah, nice to meet you. And he went, oh, I'm Charlie. And I was like, oh, cool. I didn't click that it was him at all, right? Didn't even enter my head because I didn't think he would ever like come to see us. So then I'm talking to him for ages and I'm saying, are you in a band and that? Do you play? You know, like, no idea. Anyway, my uncle, who's the one who's into like really into punk, he come over to me later on and he was like, you're an idiot. And I was like, what? And he was like, you don't know who that is, do you? And I was like, I said, oh, he's my friend now. I said, he's my new mate, Charlie. And he was like, Paige, that's Charlie at the UK Subs. And I was like, oh, wow. So he was like, I can't believe you didn't even get a picture with him or anything. And I went, no, but I've got his phone number. He gave me his number, like, because we were just chatting and stuff, and he was saying to me like, oh, if you ever need any like help and like I can put in a word for you and there, like,
yeah.
And then he watched us play, and then like that's when he like said to me like, take my number and then give us a ring on this number and stuff, you know, like if you need any help. He wasn't like being weird or anything like that. He's such a nice man that loves music, like, and wants And he just sort of said to me, he said, carry on. He said, whatever you're doing, it's weird and it's different. He said, it's brilliant. He said,
wow.
Honestly.
Oh, so you don't ask for photos? I mean, who's like the most famous person that you've had a photo or you've asked a photo with?
Don't know.
I love having photos with musicians every time. I don't know if you remember it, but after your set, I actually went to the merch store. So
and we got a picture together. I remember.
With you, have you ever have you asked anyone say, can I have a photograph?
Do you know what? I would say like I'm probably on like loads of pictures with like like people, but I'm terrible. I always forget. Like I always end up having such a good time that I'm like in the moment, and then I'm like, oh no, like like social media and stuff. Like I'm rubbish at it. Like I wish I have to like in my head, like I have to write down, like take a picture today and like post it, because if I don't, I just forget. Like even from like gigs and stuff, I'm like hoping that somebody took a good video of us, or like in a good position. Like sometimes it's hard, isn't it? Like if you stood right at the front, it doesn't sound so great, but if you stand a bit further back, then it sounds, you get the full effect or whatever. But honestly, like I'm rubbish. I need to like really up my game on this thing, because the amount of people that I could have had my picture took with, like Jimmy Percy and like crazy people that I might never see again. Like, but hopefully I will see them again. Well, I hope so.
Well, who manages your like Facebook page?
Me, I do it all.
You do it as well.
I do it all because my dad is useless, because he's 64, so he has no idea. Like he posts like pictures of himself, and it's like from here downwards, and we're like, no, what have you done? And he's like, oh, what about my fans on Facebook? I'm like, they're not fans. Like that isn't what you say. You say your followers. Like, and like when we were gigging the other week, like we always say, like followers on Instagram, please, Facebook, Twitter. He said MySpace like once, and I was like, that isn't even a thing. And then, but then the other day he said, only friends. He meant only fans. I was like, Dad, you don't know what you're saying. I think my brother must have been mentioning, like when you lose your phone and you have that Find My Friend app, or there's an app, isn't there, to find your phone. And I think he got totally confused with that, and then only fans, like his friends must say it to him at work, like joking. And I literally just turned to him and just burst out laughing and was like, you're an idiot. And but the crowd like absolutely were like laughing their head off. Some of them were like curled over because it was so funny. Like he just genuinely did it by accident. So we keep it in now.
Because I mean, nowadays it's very important to have a socials or like social media person, like Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and all that. So I've actually because I like being at the front, because when I do videos of gigs that I go to, I don't like holding it like up there.
You have to like hold the rail.
So I hold it like really very discreetly. So most of my photos are like. Sometimes my daughter said to me, "How come they're so like, it's almost like you can see them," because I was way at the front. So, But well, Aiden said that girl singers are great, and drummers as well, female drummers. So there needs to be a lot more. So when you're not drumming, when you're not gigging and stuff, what keeps you busy?
Well, just like writing all the time and like practicing, and we've always got like videos to make, or like a new single coming out, or we're trying to just be as. Is it even crazy? Like this time last year, like I feel like we've just started to like. I don't know. We were getting like little breaks here and there with like promoters that would take a chance on us, and then once they'd seen us, they'd then put us on again, like. And there's a guy who's been brilliant, Tony Smith. He has Sound of the Suburbs record shop. He's a great guy, and he puts gigs on himself. And we did like an in-store at his record shop, and invited like all these mates that go to good gigs and stuff. So through people like that, like they've really like helped us progress, and it's become like a job. Like it's a full-time job now. Like yesterday I was posting out like 5 t-shirts for people, like merch, like, so it's crazy. Or you just email like people like send off you to radio shows or things like that. Like it's great. Like it's becoming like real, if you know what I mean. Like well, this time last year we'd not played with Big Country, or met the promoter that we've been working with, like, and you just don't know. You've got to do all these, like that tiny little gig that we did in our local town that made us like be invited to play with Big Country. That was the best thing we ever did. Like, like, and if some people would have snubbed that gig and said, oh, it's not like like there's no more than 100 people coming to this little festival, or what's the point? Like, that's people's attitude, and I think it is the totally, you do as much as you can, and like people say like people keep like saying that we're working really hard, and I mean, I don't think we're not working hard, but I still think we could be doing more. Do you know what I mean? Like, me and Dad are a bit like, oh no, like we don't feel like we're doing anything. We want to be gigging every night, like, you know. But we've got a weekend off this week. It's weird. We don't know what to do with ourselves. And my mum was like, what am I going to do with your dad? Like, we don't know what to do with, like, we don't go out, like, because he's always with me on the shows and stuff.
Talk about Big Country. Have you met Mark Braziti?
Yeah. Only briefly, like really quickly, because that show was like our very first like big gig, like ever. So we were like on our best behaviour. We didn't really speak to anyone. We just said hello. And like, it's funny now though, because like Bruce and Jamie and Gil, like they're like our mates now. Like we can we meet him and be like, oh yeah, you're right. Whereas like we didn't even know him 6 months ago, but because we've been doing like a lot with him, and they're such great guys as well. Like Gil, the other week we had this gig with the Skids, and the stage was tiny. So it wasn't a small stage. It was like the walkway, their drum kit, like had to be like, the cymbals were like there, if you will, and the door was here. So with our big amps and stuff, once they put their gear in, we couldn't even get through. We had to like lift them over. So me and Gil were like lifting these massive heavy amps like over our heads, and then we were laughing like, oh my god, like look at us, if anyone knew what we were actually like doing, you know. It was so funny.
So whenever you support a band, you always have your own drum kit. You don't.
I can't use anyone else's because I have a different setup. My drums, they're electric, so I know they look like they are a real drums, don't get me wrong, but the top of them, if you hit it just sounds like that, because they've got a mesh head, and I use triggers, so they're like I'm completely playing live. It's not like a trigger and
recording.
No, nothing like that. It's like the reason we got them was because when we were like busking and playing like little venues, like you'll know, like when you go to like smaller gigs, it's very hard to hear the singing over the drummer. With any band. So we always use them, because if we are playing a tiny venue, we've got the beauty of being able to turn them down. So then we go from there. Like that's the reason. And because Dad uses a lot of leaper pedals, I have to have like my two own monitors for each, like my kick and my snare. So so I can hear once a looper, like because he triggers a bass at the same time as a guitar, I need to hear that, if you know what I mean, as clear as I can, so that when he's like soloing, I can keep in time. Because if you know what guitarists are like, they're the loudest in the world. So if I can't hear my own kit, I'm screwed. Like, but I can. So that's how we've got our sound.
And you've always sort of like done it standing.
Yeah, because I sing. So, and as well, like I've become like, I wanted to be like the front woman, if you will. Like like my dad's not daft. He knew like as soon as we were in a band together, he was like, do you know what I mean? He's like kept us. Well, at first he like took a real step back, and I was always in the middle, and you know, it was like, it was me, if you know what I mean. And then but then as the years have gone on, like we've realized it doesn't matter. Like he does as, because he's so good at what he does, it doesn't matter how old he is. Like, and he doesn't just look like a dad, does he? He looks like
no.
Well, we were laughing. We said because people always say it looks a bit like Slash off Guns N' Roses.
If
he put a top out on him, and then the other day my dad said something like, yeah, well, Slash must have nicked my image because I'm older than him. Or something like that. We were laughing. Yeah, right.
Well, what's next for Voodoo Radio? Because you said you've got some time off now.
Yeah, well, we haven't really. We've only got a week, so we're recording all the weekend. We've got a couple of new songs that we've been working on. One of them's got like, we wanted to show off my singing more because I mean, don't get me wrong, like I sing on everything properly, but like I don't know, there's stuff that I can do that I've never really shown, and we thought it would break the setup a bit, like not to do a slow song or anything like that, but sing something really difficult, you know. So one of them's a bit like that, and then the other one, it's a bit of a anthem-y, like a bit of a crowd, you know, like one for the crowd. So I think,
Like,
but you never know. You never know. Like, you have all these ideas, don't you? And like mad ideas, and in your head it's brilliant, and then you record it and it sounds rubbish, and you're like, oh, start again. Like, but no, I think with especially one of them, like I think is going to be quite special. So hopefully we'll get that out and get it done. But we've got a couple of releases coming. I think we're going to re-release Ice Cream Man. Just waiting for the weather to change again.
Not waiting to rain.
Yeah, and then we've got one off the new EP, Stupid Humans. It's called Dog, and it's one of the ones that we play live. That people really say like that one is like special. Like it's got something else. Like it's just a different feel like to everything else that we do. Like we wrote it for a film, so. We got asked to write a song for a film because there's a bit in the film where there's a kid listening to like emo music, like gothy music, screamo music, that was what they said. And the granddad comes in and he says, for God's sake, turn that off, it's bloody awful. So our manager was like, you'll be the perfect band for that one. So we were like, oh great. So he said, can you write an awful song? And we were like, oh, how are we going to do this? Because we're very pop. Like, our songs are very, I mean, don't get me wrong, they're heavy, but they're still very commercial.
Yeah.
So we were like, we've never done a screamo song or made all them, like, noises, you know, like. So can you imagine, we're in my house, right? So my mum's in the kitchen making tea. And me and my dad are in the other room trying to make these like moshing noises, like, like that. And she's like, what are you two doing? And we're like, we're trying to make that growl noise, you know, like it's really hard to do. So anyway, we had a song that we've had for a long time, and we thought we could work that into that style. Like we thought that would be all right. Anyway, we sent it off and they said no, it was too pop. So we were like, oh no. So we literally had like 3 hours until we had to get back in the car to like go to a gig, and we weren't coming back to the studio for like 3 days or something like that. Like we were going on the road, so we were like, well, we've got like 4 hours to do a whole song, well, a demo like of a whole song. And so like my dad predominantly like is the writer, like, and then I'll add in bits and like change bits and we'll work from whatever riff he's made, you know, like we don't. It's like when you play the drums, you can't really come up with something like a riff, you know, like so it tends to work that way. Anyway, this one, all we had was I don't want to be your bitch or dog in your litter. Like that was the chorus. That literally went to me, well, I've got to write the music, so here you go, give me the book with all the lyrics in, and went, see you later. like you write the song. So I wrote all them lyrics. It was like my first time like just doing it cold turkey, and to be honest, it come out really well. And I have no idea who the song is about or whatever, but I must have a lot of anger towards this person because it's horrible. Oh, it's funny. Like it's almost like a rap. Like I've never rapped in my life, but apparently on this one I fancied it, so I did.
Well, do you have a Bandcamp? Do you have a Bandcamp where people can?
No, we haven't got Bandcamp. We've got what's the other one called? Is it like Songkick or something like that?
Oh right.
So we've got that. We're on basically everything. Everything else except for Bandcamp. So we're on like Spotify. I think on Spotify you have to type it in all capital letters for some reason. And then we've got everything. We're on absolutely everything else. But
yeah. So except Bandcamp as well.
yeah, and I don't even know why we're not on it. Maybe I should get on this.
Yeah. Well, it's nearly so like 5 o'clock now, but I've only got so like these like regular questions I ask
Yeah,
before I let
sorry.
you go.
That took up all your
No,
time.
it's all right. No, it's I really enjoy it. It's like amazing how much I've learned from you, like especially that one about busking in London and that
Yeah,
sort of
honestly, it's so good. Like for people that
yeah,
are like new and like trying a new thing, like
yeah,
it's the best way to like learn.
yeah. Well, I'm not sure whether I can't remember whether I've actually seen you twirl when you play the drums. Do
Yeah,
you?
yeah, I can
Do
do.
you do that?
Only a little bit. Like I'm not like do like because
Yeah.
I stick them in every now and again. Like when I can get because I'm singing. Like there's a lot of our like verses I can do it in them, but I can't in the choruses because I need to fully like play it. I wish I could like throw it up. Or when we played at the 100 Club the first time on the skids, it was the first time in years that I've dropped a stick, and luckily it flew right out into the audience member. He picked it up, had it in his hand like
Okay.
that, and I
Yeah.
nodded to him as if to say, "Can I have that back?" And he threw it at me. I caught it, and then I carried on like nothing had happened. And you know when you just think the most iconic venue ever, like this could only happen here, couldn't it? It was funny.
Well, it's a good thing they didn't keep it, because so like
Yeah,
some.
I mean, I always have spare ones like behind me or whatever,
Yeah.
or in my pocket or whatever. But you know, you just think, oh, please not now. And it was so hot in there, and I think that's why I dropped it because my hands were like sweating like mad.
Sweating, yeah.
Yeah. But,
No, because I think it's amazing when drummers actually do the twirling and so like especially when there's like a gap in the
yeah.
song and then
Oh
they throw
yeah.
it and then boom. Like,
Yeah.
have you ever had, apart from that sort of like dropping the stick that you mentioned earlier, have you ever had any sort of like accidents or maybe
Yeah, because not long ago either. So we were playing. Do you know the magazine Viva La Rock?
yeah.
Right. So Eugene, who runs that, right, he had a gig and the support band, something had happened and they couldn't play, but it was literally like less than 24 hours notice. And somebody messaged me and just said, "Oh, are you free tomorrow to come and support Eugene's band?" So I was like, we were we played London, so it was in Kingston, so it was like on the way out. So we were like, yeah, brilliant, we can play it. But it was in the daytime. So it was literally like 12 hours notice and we were on the stage. Anyway, we played. And with my drums, because they're electric, I have 2 different amplifiers for each noise. And my kick drum, that is we were using like a Roland amp for that, which is what you're meant to use. And then for my snare, because it's like a higher frequency, we always used an EV, like a PA speaker.
Okay, yeah.
Which was really loud and like perfect. But when you play like smaller venues, if you have to have it on the max, they can sort of decide that it's too loud for it and it can't handle it. Anyway, it turned itself off halfway through a number and I was like, oh no. Anyway, we carried on and like got to the end of the song with just luckily it was a song where it was very heavy like on the kick and like there's other ways of doing stuff. But it panicked me. So then the next gig that we had was like a big show, like with the skids and stuff. So we were like, we can't have that happen ever again. It only ever happened like once. But you know when you think, oh, surely it wouldn't happen in front of Eugene and all these people like from Viva La Rock, like great. Anyway, they didn't care. Like the guys thought it was brilliant, like the way we handled the situation and like said it. They didn't even notice like at all. Like luckily it was like a song they didn't miss it. But I knew it was like horrendous for me. So we did that and I just literally turned it off and then turned it all back on again. It was just like a power cut. Like that's all that had happened.
Oh, right.
But you just don't want that to ever happen, obviously. Like when you're playing electric drums, like there's nothing you can do about it. Yeah. So anyway, it was fine. But you know, when you're just like, oh. So after that, I went straight to the drum place in Wembley, which is a great place for drums. Like they are so helpful in there. I think there's a guy called Adam in there and he really helped us. And I took my EV in and said to him, I need it as loud as this, but I can't have it on full. It needs to be like on half or a bit more because I can't risk this happening now at other gigs.
Yeah.
So he sorted me out with this amp and it is good. Like but even still, I must be really deaf because, like, honestly, I think it's just hanging around my dad. Like, he plays so loud. Like, I'm like, whoa. And I did a job where I had to wear in-ear monitors. Like, I was just singing on this job, and the sound engineer was like, are your in-ears playing up? And I was like, yeah, I've got some interference. So he was starting the interference, and he said, yeah, give me your pack, like where I turn it up and down. Give him that, and he went, oh my god, you are so deaf. And I was like, what? And he went, exactly. Like, because I was like, what?
Do you use like protection for the ears? Because do you know that a lot of drummers, they say that that's the
Yeah, I
main
mean,
problem
mine
that
are
they
different
get.
because mine aren't actually that loud because they're not like in front,
Oh,
like they're
yeah, yeah,
behind me, so it's not too
yeah,
bad. But I just think like little venues, like that's where it does. But you know, like when you sing, like I can't bear it. Like, you know, like when you're in the studio and you put your earphones on, I always feel
yeah,
like I'm going to sing through my nose. So I don't actually like having like in ears
yeah,
in. Like I hate them. But
yeah,
and
yeah.
like in ear monitors, unless you've got good molds, like as soon as I smile like that, like they flick out, and and then I'm like, oh no, I can't hear anything. Like I'd rather just have a monitor, like proper rock and roll like ears. So
Yeah,
yeah,
and also I know people always say to me that I should wear like those ear things when I go to a gig, but
yeah.
I don't really like it because I don't enjoy it.
No,
I
and you
don't
can't get the
listen to
feel.
something.
Like
Yeah, that's
like
yeah.
I
But
literally feel like when I'm playing with Emin, I'm like, great, I'm just playing in my bedroom or whatever. Like excellent. Like you can't feel like you can't get that chemistry and that
yeah, yeah, that's
like the
true.
togetherness that you get like when even like when you just see like little pullbacks and stuff, like they don't happen when you've got them in. It
Yeah.
just sounds very the same, you know, like you never want to play like that. So
Drumming heroes. Who are
right.
your like drumming heroes?
Um who would I say? Well, I would say Karen Carpenter. I think like obviously like she's a singer predominantly and then like then can play the drums as well, like as another option. I think that is amazing. Like
Yeah.
I don't think people realise how hard drumming is. Like, you know, like you
Yeah, yeah,
don't
and singing at the same time as well. So it's like you're
yeah,
concentrating not just like the vocals, but also having to play the drums.
yeah.
Because
I mean
you
when I
know,
started drumming, like I used to not even think about singing and I used to think, well, I've sang since I was 7 properly, so like surely I can do that by now, you know, without even thinking about it. But just hope for the best. And I think now, like especially like since COVID, I think that did me massive favors because I could practice, and I've got the worst um like I hate practicing. What's that called? Like, what am I trying to say? I hate practicing. Like I've got no patience.
no,
Like for practicing, I'm terrible. Like if I can't do something in like 2 seconds, I'm like, nah. Like, and my dad's like, you haven't even practiced. Like, go away for 10 minutes, then come back and you'll be able to do it. And I can. Do you know that song C30, C60, C90
yeah,
Go by
yeah,
Bow Wow
wow,
Wow?
wow, wow,
So
yeah,
we did a
yeah,
cover of that, right? That is so hard for me to play and sing and I couldn't do it. Like, but then 2 days in, I could do it. And he was like, "See, if you practice, you could be the best drummer in the world." Like, I just don't know. You know, when you just something annoys you, like if you're not like,
yeah.
yeah, like
But
paradiddles.
you are a natural though. What I wanted to ask you is, do you think anybody can just do it? Because
Well,
you sort of like you started with like is it shoe boxes or something,
oh
and then you
yeah, anyone can
like
do that, definitely. Like, give it a
but
go. I'd say to anybody, give it a go because it would.
yeah,
If you'd have asked me like 5 years ago, did I ever want to be a drummer? I'd be like, I won't be able to do that. Like, no way. Whereas now, like my uncle who's like been to our gigs since the beginning, like helped us like with the sound and everything. He after COVID, he said to me, "Oh, you're like a real drummer now." Like, like because he's seen me drum before. Like I was a bit stiff and like my flair wasn't as good, and it's just a confidence thing, I think. And
yeah,
like I stick in the odd roll here and there now that I would never have dreamed of like sticking in before, like live, like because I was just so scared, like. And it is genuinely just practice, I think. Obviously, you've got to have a
Yeah.
good ear and good timing, but other than that, it's genuinely like drilling stuff until you've got it.
Yeah, yeah.
But,
And will that be your advice to aspiring drummers?
yeah, I say give it a go. Why not?
Yeah.
Like my auntie, she always wants. She says I always wanted to be a drummer, and I'm like, get a drum kit. Like, look at me. Like, even if you play like I do, like we went to watch Slim Jim the other week. Well, we played with him, and he is amazing. Like,
Yes. Oh my God. Yes.
yeah,
I
and
love
he was
Slim
such a
Jim.
nice man as well. Like, he was great. Like, I went to see him years ago, and that was when I first started drumming, and I thought, yeah, it can be done. Like, it's so cool, isn't it? Like,
Yeah, he is.
yeah. So
He is really cool. Yeah.
I definitely would say to anybody, just give it a go. Unless you can't clap in time, then you're stuck.
Or maybe, do you know what they say, like when you do this?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
sometimes, like, can you really do it? Something like
Yeah,
that.
it's whether you can do your feet. Like, I could do my feet like quite easy, like, but I think that's purely because of tap dancing when I was little.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
like, but your hands, like, as long as you can keep them, and then you can add your feet in later. Like, don't worry about that. But yeah.
Oh, that's brilliant. What's your next gig?
So we've got a busy weekend coming up. We've got we're playing in London on the Friday with the Dorellas at the Hope and Anchor. Like, that's a cool little venue. We played there quite a lot. That's
Yeah.
in London, in Islington. And then we're at the Hive in Rotherham on the Saturday, so that'll be good. Rotherham's a really cool. There's a place called the Hive, and it's like everything downstairs. It's like a goth like room. It's amazing. Everything, all the walls are like bright red, and then there's like coffins on the wall and like crazy stuff. Yeah, they've got like Lemmy's amps like at the top of the stairs, like, so you can't reach them, but like, you know it's there.
Yeah.
So nobody can pinch it. But and then we've got a really good gig on the Sunday. We're playing Kendall Calling.
Oh,
So
wow.
that's a massive festival for us.
Yeah.
We're playing on the BBC introducing stage, so that should be amazing. So that's at like 6 o'clock we're on, which is a good time as well, because you don't want to go on too late because everyone wants to go see the main stage. So.
Yeah.
That's right. So hopefully we'll get a few people down.
And
So.
all these information, like the gigs details, are on your Facebook page. And
yeah, they're on like social media and everything. So yeah, you'll have to let me know if you want to come.
I've never been to Kendall Calling. I've always wanted to sort of like go there, but it's one of those things that you have to camp, right? You have to sort of like have your own tent
you
or
do have to
something.
camp, I think.
Yeah.
I think you can go for the day, but like I don't think there's many hotels like near there. If you know what I mean, if you wanted to like stay in a hotel and then go to for the day, but most people just camp. It's a cool festival though. Well, I remember when it first like came out, and it was absolutely tiny. Like they've had to move it over the years because it's got so big now, and the acts they have on are amazing.
I think it's thanks to Tim Burgess who actually made it like really, really massive now. So
it's huge. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Paige. I'm
thanks for having me.
That, I'm really happy that you said yes to Ask the Drummer. And final word from you to our viewers.
I just want to say thanks for having me, and if you do want to start drumming, just do it. Like, look at me. I wasn't necessarily young when I started drumming. Do you know what I mean? You don't have to do it since you're a kid or anything like that. Like, give it a go. That is what I would say.
Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, that's very good. Maybe I should be there. I think I'm just really lazy to learn it.
Do it. Get a drum kit.
Well, I really hope I'll see you again soon. I'll keep an eye out for a gig that maybe I could go to. Maybe one in Glasgow again or Manchester or something. So, best regards to your dad.
Yeah.
And to your family.
He probably stood outside listening to me talking to you. Trying not to be loud.
And thank you so much, and see you again. And good luck. Good luck with everything. And I'm hoping that I could get a copy of your album someday soon. So
don't worry, I'll send you one if I can. All right.
See you guys
soon.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Paige. Bye. See ya. Bye. Oh my God. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us live. That's amazing. I really, oh, she's absolutely beautiful. And, it's for someone so like, I've seen her. If anyone saw, like, happy to get a chance to see Voodoo Radio live, you've got to go and see them. They're so energetic and they're amazing. If you're a punk fan or a pop fan as well, you've got to see this band. Thank you again, Paige, for joining us on Ask the Drummer, and thank you, everyone. We've got another one on Sunday, our usual slot. So I've got it posted on the Ask the Drummer page. So hope to see you again soon. And as always, we've seen Paige there. I think I really should sort of like try and see if I could do a bit of drumming. It's like she's really inspired me there now, and maybe give it a try. But yeah, as always, love music, love life, love drummers. They're absolutely amazing. I really think that they're coolest musicians in the world. So hope to see you again on Sunday. Bye for now, everyone. Thank you. Bye. Bye.